Hello, my friends. It is day 332, and we're reading Acts chapter 18 and Acts chapter 19. But before we get into our reading, I want to take a moment to thank you for taking a moment to check out this video. Hopefully, you're finding the yearly Bible reading program enjoyable. If you have not yet accepted the invitation, please visit www.selflesschurch.org. There you'll find a link that will take you directly to a registration form where you can register to learn about everything we're going to be doing in 2026. It's going to be exciting, and we're going to have a lot of great interactions, prayerfully reading through the Bible. I'm so excited about this because I think we need opportunities to get together and discuss those pain points, right, of reading the Bible. If you've been reading the Bible this year, I can guarantee you have come across something that made you say, ouch, like, I can't believe that that's in the Bible. What becomes so easy is we read that and we go on to the next chapter. But I want us to take a moment, hopefully, to just pause, reflect, and pray through what we're reading and ask the Lord to help us. So I hope you'll join us as we do that. All right, so today we're reading Acts chapter 18. We're reading Acts chapter 19. And Paul is getting ready to begin his third missionary journey. And Paul is such an incredible person, an incredible believer, an incredible missionary, a disciple of Jesus Christ. He is bought into this vision of new creation, new heaven and earth, with Jesus at the center of it. And it has caused him to abandon everything. And it's just so powerful. But when we look at chapter 18, we see it's not just him doing this. There are other individuals as well who are just as excited about it. One of the individuals we come across, or a couple of them, are Aquila and Priscilla, co-laborers of Paul the Apostle, fellow tent makers, and they understand what he's doing. They're bought into it. They are witnessing to other Jews about Jesus being the Messiah. And so he has other individuals there that are just as enthusiastic as he is. And then there's another individual by the name of Crispus and another Titus Justus. These are all, both Jew and Gentile, coming together, speaking the word of the Lord. Paul gets this incredible experience with a vision, or in a vision, where I would assume that he's like thinking through the struggles and he's wrestling with the hardship. And in the vision, the Lord tells him, don't be afraid, speak out, don't be silent, for I am with you, and no one will attack you and harm you, for many people in this city belong to me. Just so good. It's just so good. So he's in Corinth, and then he keeps going. Obviously, there are some things happening. They get upset, and people try to get him out of there. So he has to keep on moving. He ends up in Antioch of Syria as he's going to Ephesus, and that's when the real drama comes in. Because at Ephesus, there's a Jew named there by the name of Apollos, and Apollos is very skilled. He's what I love to call the perfect ministry leader. He is competent, he's excited, and he is competent, excited, and then he is reputable. That's the third one. He's reputable. He's the one that people look at and they say, okay, we know Apollos, right? And he's able to have impact. He's preaching boldly. He's preaching accurately. He's refuting with people, presenting arguments. He knows what he's talking about. He has the passion. He has the courage. And he's out there just really sharing the gospel and debating why Jesus is the Christ. And that's the setup, right? Because the rest of chapter 19 is where we find the drama. Ephesus was a highly pagan area. They had a goddess there that they worshiped by the name of Artemis, and Artemis, or you may have heard her referred to as Diana. But Artemis had a temple there. It was the rule of Rome that you can, at least for the Jews and Christians, I should say that. For the Jews and Christians, you could worship your God as long as you don't disrupt the worship of the Roman gods. You need to pray for the emperor. You need to worship the gods of the empire, because if the gods of this empire get upset with us, then all this could come falling down. And here in this passage in chapter 19, Paul goes into Ephesus and he preaches the gospel. He confronts the idols of the society with the gospel of Jesus Christ, and it turns everything upside down. Their economic infrastructure is challenged. Their religious establishment is challenged, and Paul is there like, here we are, and of course, just as they assumed would happen, a riot begins, and Paul has to get out of there yet again. But that's the job of the gospel. The thing I loved about this passage, chapter 19, is what happened in verse 18, where it says, when they were preaching the gospel, many became believers, confessing their sinful practices. A number of them who had been practicing sorcery brought their incantation books and burned them at the public bonfire. The value of their books was several $1,000,000. So the message about the Lord spread widely and had a powerful effect. And I often think about, as we imagine the world that we're living in, what would it be like if people heard the gospel and brought their idols, brought their forms of idolatry to the bonfire and sacrificed them, gave them up, got rid of them because the gospel was that powerful? Brothers and sisters, listen, I'm praying that that is what we encounter in our world. We need that. We need that in our community, in our families, in our nation, in this world. We need that kind of gospel preaching. And if the gospel is not doing that, then we need to work towards how can we make sure we are equipping ourselves, we are becoming skilled enough, we are spiritual enough even. Like we are allowing the Lord to do what he wants to do, because this is the gospel being presented at its best. All right. So what did you learn? Put your comments in the comment box below. I'd love to know your thoughts. Until next time, thank you for watching. Take care. God bless. And remember, live by the word.